What's going on, culés? Welcome back to Blaugrana Zone, your destination for all things Football Club Barcelona. Now let's get into today's game versus FC Seoul. There's so much to be said about this game. It was a very crazy one. It was a bit of a roller coaster. For a moment, just a moment, it looked like we could possibly tie or even lose to FC Seoul. It did look like that. But in the first half alone, we had a lot of action. Lamine Yamal was looking phenomenal. I think this was definitely his game. I'm sure that he heard all the criticism after the first game, and I think he's a player that only fuels him. He's very Michael Jordan-esque in that way, that he needs to hear some negativity in order to flip a switch in his mind and unlock a different beast, to be honest. Dani Olmo and Lamine Yamal had a very good connection. There was a pass from Olmo to Lamine. Lamine took a shot. It hit the post, resulting in Lewandowski opening up the score for Football Club Barcelona. Lamine had also a very good solo goal, and I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. Lamine could have easily had a hat trick in the first half. The Olmo to Lamine connection was, as I said before, looking very good today. It was on full display. I think Dani Olmo is going to be a player to give Fermin a run for his money, really, at the cam position. It's going to be very fun to see those two guys duel it out. Seoul's high press is what really helped them stay in the game today. I was watching, and to see Lamine Yamal get pickpocketed, really, and then resulting in Seoul scoring, I fell to my knees. I was like, there's no way that this is how we're going to get scored on. The other goal that came from FC Seoul, of course, was because Ronald Araujo stopped marking his man for a half a second, and that's all it took for Seoul to take advantage of that opportunity, make a pass in behind Araujo, causing a goal. So Joan Garcia was scored on twice, while Chesney was scored on once. Barcelona won this game 7-3. I think that doesn't really have a lot to say about the goalkeeper as much as it's saying something about our defense at the time. I hope that Hansi Flick sees the errors that I'm seeing with Araujo, and he chooses to give more minutes to my guy Inigo Martinez. I just really like how he looks in the lineup, even though he hasn't really been a big part of it just yet. I think he will be once La Liga begins. Marcus Rashford, I think, had a very good game. He had an assist. Now I know the Twitter trolls, the internet warriors, they were ready to start tweeting 002 Marcus Rashford on his way to 007. But Marcus Rashford said not today and bagged himself a very clean assist for Ferran Torres' goal. He also had a very good game. He had two very nice goals. Andreas Christensen, who is a player that I told you guys in the last video was going to be crucial for this Barcelona team. I really hope that Hansi Flick sees that, because whenever I look at Christensen, I think he is a pure on-ball player. Christensen is the type of player that I think is crucial in this kind of team. We need a player that is not only going to defend with his whole heart, but can also get involved in our attack. Christensen is exactly that kind of guy. He showed you that today in this game with his outside-the-box banger. He's also a player that I think is important to the development of Pau Cubarsí. I really see their profiles, their type of player is real in sync with one another. I think it's something that Cubarsí can learn from. I think that he can develop himself into the Christensen type role where he is a lockdown defender that can also get involved in our attack through his passes, headers, long balls, and long shots. Gavi had himself a goal today, which I know is going to cause people to, maybe prematurely declare that Gavi's back. And I want to believe that. I'm a very big Gavi fan, but I just don't know if he will claim a spot ahead of Marc Casado, ahead of Frankie de Jong, ahead of Marc Bernal. I'm just not sure. But these little streaks of greatness that we saw from Gavi today did give me some hope that he can be the player that we all thought he was going to be. He can be the player that he was before he was riddled with injury. I think that Gavi can have a good season and gain himself a spot on the lineup if he stays healthy and if his heart is in it. because I believe that Hansi Flick wants to give him a spot. After he scored the goal, he had a little bit of a nice little embrace with Hansi Flick, where it seemed like Hansi Flick was telling him, like, keep calm. We're putting confidence in you. Look at how good you're doing with just a little bit of confidence. Imagine if you have the confidence of not being injured and running around the pitch freely. I think he will be a much better player. Now, Chesney and Joan Garcia, as I said before, Joan Garcia was scored on us twice and Chesney one time. I think that raises a little bit of suspicion in Hansi Flick's mind about whether or not we start Chesney or start Joan. Obviously, the logical thing would be to start Joan because we spent a pretty penny on acquiring him, and we're pushing Ter Stegen out for Joan Garcia. I don't think that we should be having a formerly retired goalie as our first string goalie. But Chesney made a case for himself today as to why he can be in that spot. And I think it's going to be a very, very big and tough decision for Hansi Flick to make, even though logically it shouldn't be. But like I said, Chesney is just being world class like we know that he is, and he's making a very strong case for himself. Marcus Rashford's game was also very good today. I was very hopeful for the things that we're going to see this season from him and from this squad overall. I think that today's showing displayed that. It was on full effect today. Barca dominance. Very nice 7-3 win over Seoul. I'm very excited about the next preseason game. This Sunday, I will either be going live or doing a post-match video, just like this one, but it won't be as delayed. There was just a lot going on today, but I still wanted to get this video out because I took some good notes on this game. I couldn't let it go to waste. It was a very, very fun watch. If you guys missed it, it's still on Barcelona's YouTube. They're going to be streaming the next game from there as well. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to remind you to like, subscribe, and get in those comments. Tell me what you guys think about Joffrey Torrens. I totally forgot to mention his fantastic assist earlier in today's game. I want to know what you guys think of him in the left back position. I want to know what you guys think of Hector Fort as well. I think his development is coming along rapidly, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to shake Eric Garcia, who is Jules Koundé's number 2. So I really want to know what you guys are thinking about our defense, what you guys think about this team. Get in those comments. I want to interact with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into Blaugrana Zone. I'll see you next time.